Session 8.4 Solving Formulas. Look at this example. At Apple, 7% of employees are African American and 18% of the employees are African American or Hispanic. Find the probability of randomly selecting an Apple employee who is Hispanic. So this time we're looking for the probability. So first, let's write down the given information. We're gonna let A be the event of African American, and we're gonna let H be the event of Hispanic. 7% of employees are African American. So we could say probability of A means the African American, equal to 7%, which is gonna be 0.07. And 80% of employees are African American or Hispanic. So we could say A or H equal to 18% means like 0.18 here. And what we are looking for, find the probability of randomly selecting an Apple employee who is Hispanic. So we want to find the probability of Hispanic. Remember, for the probability, when we deal with or, we need to think about it. Is these two events are mutually exclusive or not mutually exclusive? Mutually exclusive means they can't happen at the same time. Not mutually exclusive means they can happen at the same time. So this one, that will be disjoint, and this one, that's an intersection. And for these events, African American and Hispanic, this is mutually exclusive, okay? This is disjoint. So we're gonna find out the formula for or. Okay, P of A or H equal to probability of A plus probability of H. And then we know probability of A, that's a 0.07. We also know this guy, that'll be 0.18 here. And P of H, this is what we're looking for. So we're going to solve this equation. We want to isolate the variable of P of H. So what we're going to do, we're going to subtract 0.07 for both sides. You should get 0.11. So we know 11% of the employees are Hispanic. Okay, example, evaluating a formula. Substitute the following values in the formula. You could see the mean equal to summation of xi times p of xi. First, remember this notation. This is called summation notation. It means you want to add it all up. And then you're going to see the I in here. This means you want to plug in I equal to 1, I equal to 2, and I equal to 3. And I want you guys substitute these values into this formula. So let me write it down one more time for the formula. And again, this is a summation notation, means you want to add it all up. So when I equal to 1, I will have a x1 times p of x1. And plus, because of the summation notation, x2 times p of x2. Plug in I equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we want to add it all up. So now you're gonna plug in the values. x1, that will be equal to 0. P of x1, that will be equal to 0.0625. x2, that will be equal to 1 times P of x2, which is going to be 0.25. Now we're going to use your calculator. You should get your mean equal to 2 here. Solving a formula for one of its variable. Let C be the Celsius reading corresponding to the Celsius reading of C degrees. The formula describing the isolation is F equal to 9 over 5 C plus 32. This is the formula for the temperature when you have a Celsius reading and you want to convert it to the Fahrenheit. Now, I want you guys to solve the formula for the C. Means, I want you guys isolate the C here and find it out what is your C equal to. And this is going to be in terms of F in here. So means I want to find it out C equal to something. And this something is going to be in terms of F. So we just consider this is going to be a constant. Okay. First, we're going to get out of the 32 here. So we're going to subtract the 32 for both sides. These two cancel out. I'm left with this guy. And then I have the fractions in front of the C here. That's a 9 over 5. Remember what is the reciprocal of 9 over 5? The reciprocal of 9 over 5, that will be 5 over 9, right? So we're going to times 5 over 9 for both sides. And we do have a more than one terms here. We do have a two terms. So put the parenthesis. In here, I could simplify it, right? Cancel out the 5 and the 9. I only left with the C. So I know now C, that would be equal to 5 over 9 times F minus 32. So this is going to be solving the formula for one of the variables. Convert 50 Fahrenheit to the equivalent Celsius temperature. So now I know F equal to 50. And I want to find out what is my C here. So we just get the formula from question 1 here. We're going to plug it in, F equal to 50. Take care of this guy, 50 minus 32, that will be 18, right? Simplify before you guys multiply. So 18 divided by 9, you're going to get 2. 2 times 5, you're going to get 10. So 50 Fahrenheit will be equivalent to 10 Celsius temperature. Okay, squaring a principal square root. If x is non-negative, then if you have the square root of x, and then you're going to take the square. The square and the square root is kind of like cancel out. You're only left with the x in here. Let's try to do this example. I assume my x is going to be equal to 4. And I try to plug into this formula to verify this formula. Okay, what's the square root of 4 equal to? That'll be equal to 2, right? So I have a 2 square. 2 times 2, that'll be equal to 4. And 4 equal to 4. So you know that when you have the number, when you take the square root and then take the square, it's kind of like you cancel out these two. You should be equal to the x in here. In statistics, you will learn about a margin of error formula. Okay, we call this as the margin of error, and then you guys gonna learn it from the Math 227. Where E has to do with the error in making a certain types of the estimate. Solve the formula for the N. Okay, I want you guys to solve the formula for the N. Similar to the previous example, when we have the Fahrenheit equal to something with the Celsius, we want to solve the formula for the C in terms of F. Same idea for this guy. I'm looking for N equal to something, and this something is in terms of the E here. So first step, we're gonna multiply the square root of N for both sides. Okay, I could cancel out these two. So I left with E times the square root of N equal to Z times the S. And then I want to isolate the variable of the square root of N. How can I get out my E here? We're gonna divide it by E for both sides. And these two, you're gonna cancel out. So you're left with the square root of N equal to Z times S over E. And now I'm looking for the N, right? I want to solve the formula for the N. So how can I get out of the square root? You're gonna take square for both sides. And remember I say when you have the number, take the square root and then take the square. It means this 2 is going to be cancelled out. So you only have the n. N equal to z times s divided by e. The whole thing you're going to take square. Okay, graphing an equation by solving for the y. Sketch the graph of 2x plus 3y equal to 9. Remember, this is the linear equation. If we want to graph this linear equation, we learn like two methods. The first method, you're going to draw a table, finding the points for the x and solve for the y. And second method, you want to rewrite it to y equal to mx plus b. If you know the slope, if you know the y-intercept, you could use the slope-intercept to graph the linear equation. So now I want to use the second method. I want you guys to rewrite this equation into y equal to mx plus b. So to begin, we're gonna get y alone on one side of the equation. We want to get out of my 2x, so we're gonna subtract the 2x for both sides. These 2 cancel out, so I only have the 3y equal to negative 2x plus 9. I switch this order because I want to put the mx in front of it, okay? And then I want to isolate my y. I'm gonna divide it by 3 for both sides. Cancel out this guy. That will be y equal to negative 2 over 3x plus 3. Okay, after we got the linear equation with the form y equal to mx plus b, we want to graph this equation. So first, what is the y-intercept? Y-intercept means x equal to 0, right? So y equal to 3. So 0, 3, that will be my y-intercept. And what is my slope? Slope, that will be equal to negative 2 over 3. So we have the y-intersection point and also I have the slope. So we could use these two information to graph this line. So first, you're gonna get 0 and 3, the y-intercept. And then my slope is gonna be 1, 3 unit and then go down 2 units because of the negative. So you get another points and then you're gonna join these 2 points together. You could verify our result by checking up like these 2 points. You could plug in these 2 points into this equation to see you're gonna get the true statement. That's it for the session 8.4.